Alright, October is now in full swing. I know this has taken probably a couple of days longer than it should have to get out, but the October new games for PlayStation Now have been announced, and we have a pretty awesome lineup of content this month. In this video, we're going to take a look at all the new games announced for PlayStation Now. We're going to take a look at the trophy lists for them, and we're going to figure out how hard they're going to be to platinum. Let's get on with the video.
You happen to me, make it undone, 'cause my heart is
Now, if you're a new viewer of the channel and you've just happenstanced upon this one video of mine, then welcome. Thank you for watching. I do really appreciate it. I make videos like this every single day on the channel, so make sure you hit the subscribe button down there so you can stay up to date on all the latest platinum trophy news. We make videos about trophies and trophy hunting and PlayStation and PS5 and everything else in between. So yeah, it's well worth staying up to date. We're also running a giveaway for a PlayStation 5 at the moment. We have a community goal of getting the channel to 10,000 subscribers by the 31st of October. If we can do that, we will be giving away a PS5 on the channel. So make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to enter the draw for that as well. So today we're taking a look at the October lineup of PlayStation Now games. Now we have 5 games being added to the PlayStation Now collection this month. They are Days Gone, Medieval, Friday the 13th, Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince, and Rad. I guess they're all horror themed, or like some sort of apocalypse style theming because of the spooky month of October. We have a decent lineup of content here. What I'm going to do is go through every single one of these games. I'll top line what they are, I'll talk about the trophies, how hard they're going to be to platinum, so you guys have a full picture of what's exactly required to platinum these games. Let's have a look. First game we're going to look at is Friday the 13th. This is an asymmetrical horror game that released a number of years ago now on the PlayStation Store. It kind of competes with Dead by Daylight, and I really love Dead by Daylight, so I wasn't a huge fan of this game personally. However, it is a very competent horror game. Basically how it works is one person plays as Jason himself, and then the rest of the players play as camp counselors. They both have different objectives they need to complete, which kind of hinder each other. So the counselors need to escape the map, Jason needs to kill the counselors. So you've got these two kind of conflicting objectives. That's what an isometric horror game essentially is. Now, the trophies for this game are super challenging. They are time consuming as all heck. So it's about a 5 out of 10 difficulty. It's not a really easy plat by any stretch of the imagination. There is a lot of grindy stuff though, and that's the majority of what this trophy list is. It's playing a certain number of games, getting a particular number of kills, getting escapes with a particular number of players, leveling up your characters, and that's going to take you around 200 or so hours. There's a trophy guide I'm looking at here on psnprofiles.com written by Killing Joke 4, and he says it's about 200 hours to platinum this game. I actually think it's probably more than that. I'm going to say 200 plus here for the purpose of this video, but I do think realistically it's more than that. The thing with these kind of games though is that when you get into them and you start really enjoying them, the time does kind of fly by with them. You kind of get so immersed in these experiences that it doesn't feel like you're spending an inordinate amount of time in the game or in the game world. So it's worth keeping in mind. All the same, this on PlayStation Now, I would definitely recommend checking this game out. I think it's absolutely worth checking out. It's a really solid experience, and I think it's worth your time. Next up, we have Medieval. This is a remaster of the OG PlayStation 1 classic Medieval. This only came out about a year ago as well, so it's interesting that this is already on PlayStation Now. Really awesome addition to PlayStation Now. It's a pretty straightforward plat as well. It's about a 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, and it's going to take you around 15 or so hours to complete. The actual game itself is obviously a lot shorter than that, but going through and doing everything required for the platinum is going to take you a little bit more time. If you play strategically, or maybe you've played the original back in the day, you should be able to do everything in a single playthrough here because you'll probably know the game. If you're not familiar with it, you play as this skeleton boy called Sir Daniel Fortescue. He has to go on this quest as he gets reanimated to destroy this evil villain. Pretty standard PlayStation 1 narrative plot there, but it's a really cool, fun hack and slash mascot platformer from back in the day. Again, a really solid title and worth your time. I'm actually going to be playing this one over on Twitch this month to celebrate Spooktober, so you can go and tune in and watch me over on twitch.tv/tptjosh if you want to come and watch me get the platinum trophy in this game. This one here is, I guess, the headline title for the month, and it's Days Gone. This again only came out last year. I guess it does have a horror theme because it's got that zombie kind of apocalypse vibe to it. I wouldn't probably call it a horror game though. This one here, you play as a motorcyclist called Deacon St. John as he tries to find his wife who is supposedly missing or dead after the zombie apocalypse essentially takes place. This guy is a motorcycle gang dude, so you drive around the motorcycle through the Pacific Northwest. You've got to take out these zombie hordes called Freakers. The game really prides itself on having a ton of these characters or enemies on the screen at a single time, and it is super impressive if I'm being honest. Platinum wise, it's not a bad plat. It's pretty straightforward compared to a lot of Sony's first party platinum trophy lists now, so it sits at that sort of 3 or 4 out of 10 difficulty mark. The clicker with this one though is it's just a long game, so I guess probably not actually. If I compare it to Horizon or God of War, I guess it's about the same. It's about a 70 or so hour platinum, I think, so a little bit longer than maybe Spider-Man and things like that, but a pretty decent game. This one was super underrated, to be honest. It didn't get the kind of credit it probably deserved when it launched, and it definitely deserved better than what it got for sure in terms of like reviews and overall reception. Awesome that it's getting a second shot now on PlayStation Now. This game would thrive heaps on PlayStation Plus if it was to come to Plus, but still really good that our PlayStation Now players can check this one out and enjoy it themselves. Trine 4 is the next game on the list this month, and this is another straightforward plat. If you played either Trines 1 through 3, this is like a 2D puzzle game where you play as these 3 different characters. I think a mage, an assassin, and a knight, and you have to switch between them. They all have unique powers and abilities that allow you to solve puzzles and progress through the levels. These traditionally were really easy plats. Trine 1 and Trine 2 were like super easy plats back in the day. Trine 4 is probably a little bit harder because it's a bit more time consuming than those two, but it's still pretty easy. It's about a 15 or so hour platinum, so that's the length of it is a bit long, but it's only a 2 out of 10. It's a really straightforward one, especially if you follow a guide. This is a cool series. The first couple of them I really liked, and I never actually got to play Trines 3 or Trine 4, sadly, and I did really enjoy them. I played them originally for trophy hunting purposes, but I did end up kind of really digging them in the end, so cool to finally see this coming to PlayStation Now as well. The last game on the list is Rad, and if I'm being honest, this is a game I'd never heard of before. I did a bit of research into it. It's a roguelike style game. You play in this top-down kind of isometric view. Basically like any road, like you play a little bit, you die, you get your loot, you go back, you die, you get your loot, you go back. Same kind of strategy there. There's a guide up on PSN profiles here, written by Flex MH Team and Integra 93GS, and they're saying the game is about a 5 out of 10 difficulty, requiring around 50 playthroughs, which is insane. That's a massive amount of playthroughs for an indie game like this, but being a roguelike, it makes sense that it's going to take a lot of time. They also said here it's going to take well over 100 hours to get the platinum in this one, which I guess kind of makes it a bit unappealing for trophy hunters if you're looking for a platinum from this one. Maybe you're into roguelike games. This is another free one if you've got PlayStation Now, so it could be worth your time for that, but it's probably going to be something you spend a decent amount of time with. Like I said again, I'd never heard of this one before, and so until I did some research and downloaded the trailers and things like that, I didn't know anything about this one. But yeah, if you're into that kind of game, then this could be for you. And there you go. There are your 5 brand new PlayStation Now games for October 2020. Let me know what you guys think of the lineup this month. Honestly, this is a good lineup. If I had PlayStation Now, which I don't, this would be a solid lineup. I think between Friday the 13th, Medieval, and Days Gone, that's like 3 awesome titles that are going to take you like more than a whole month to play. But then you've also got Tron Rad on top of that, plus your entire additional library of PlayStation Now games. Well worth the offering. Platinum trophy wise, if I was to pick a game, one game out of these 5 to play, it would be Medieval. Pretty straightforward and easy platinum, and it's a really solid and fun game as well. If I was to pick another one, it would be Days Gone, because it's a nice AAA big meaty experience, but it is more time consuming, so it's worth keeping that in mind too. But those are all your games for PlayStation Now this month. Let me know which ones you guys are going to be checking out. Comment section down below. I'm really curious to get your thoughts. I'm not sure if I'll have trophy guides for any of these going up on the channel. There might be 1 or 2 of them that pop up in a couple of days time. We'll see how we go, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give your boy a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you did. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.